Happy Monday. Today is Monday, December 7th, 2020, and today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 27, Isaiah 26, 7 through 15, and then Acts 2, 37 through 42. And today I'm actually going to be looking at Acts and talk about Pentecost, because what's with the Pentecost texts this week? It's Advent, right? I mean, you're probably sitting there like, okay, we get it. It's not really Christmas, it's Advent. But why are we reading about Pentecost? Well, Pentecost stories. Well, it's because we're waiting for God to show up, right? We're waiting for God to show up, and the story of Pentecost is all about what that looks like, right? John, the text for yesterday, for Sunday, John even warned us about it, right? The beginning of Mark talks about the advent, if you will, of one who will baptize the nations with fire. He says, I baptize you with water, but one is coming after me who will baptize you with fire, with the Holy Spirit. And that's Mark 1, 7 through 8. So it's this Jesus who comes in the power of the Holy Spirit is the one that we're waiting on. We've been waiting for. This God made flesh, right? That's what Advent is all about. That's what we're looking forward to, God showing up. And Pentecost is the outcome of that appearance. When the Christ we've been waiting on then leaves his Spirit with us and creates his church, right? And so, it's fitting here in Advent. We should be singing Pentecost carols, if there is such a thing. There kind of is. If you look in the hymnal next time you're at church and you look and see if there's a hymn in there called O Spirit of the Living God, it was written by a guy named, the lyrics, I should say, were written by a guy named Tweedy, sometime in the 1930s, maybe. But it's a really good hymn. And the neat thing about hymns that we've kind of lost is they have like consistent theological ideas from point A to point B, right? It's like one big thought. And so I'm going to read this Pentecost carol to you, and maybe you can keep it in your mind throughout Advent. And if you have a United Methodist hymnal, it's number 539, not page 539, number 539. And so I'm just going to read the lyrics to you. O Spirit of the living God, thou light and fire divine, descend upon thy church once more, and make it truly thine. Fill it with love and joy and power, with righteousness and peace, till Christ shall dwell in human hearts, and sin and sorrow cease. Blow, wind of God, with wisdom blow, until our hearts, our minds are free from mists of error, clouds of doubt, which blind our eyes to thee. Burn winged fire, inspire our lips with flaming love and zeal, to preach to all thy great good news, God's glorious commonweal. Teach us to utter living words of truth which all may hear, the language all may understand, when love speaks loud and clear. Till every age and race and clime shall blend their creeds in one, and earth shall form thy family, by whom thy will is done. So shall we know the power of Christ who So shall we know the power of Christ who came this world to save. So shall we rise with him to life, which soars beyond the grave. And earth shall win true holiness, which makes thy children whole, till perfected by thee we reach creation's glorious goal. Maybe go back and look at some of the Christmas carols you're dying to sing, like O Little Town of Bethlehem, and see if a lot of the language that we sing about at Christmas, a lot of the hope and the expectations we have, aren't similar to the answers that we get here in these Pentecost carols. Well, anyway, that's the DBR for today. Go out, have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Boop.